Action! Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Elliot Yamin, and I'm here hanging out with my buddy Brandon Crow. B. Crow in the house. Crow was in the building. And first and foremost, I just want to apologize to everybody for taking so long to get this video blog out to you guys. When Brandon and I came up with this idea to do this, I think it was before my mom had passed away, and so needless to say, that happened, and kind of took some time away from the fans, from music, from kind of like my everyday life, and just took some time away from the game, I guess, to kind of, you know, clear my head, get my thoughts straight, and I guess get ready for this next record. So here we are, finally. It's about time. I'm going to be reading questions that you guys, the fans, sent to me, most of which came from my fan forum on E-Train Station. So what you can do is, I have kind of an official fan forum on, if you go to www.etrainstation.com, you can blog all about whatever it is you want to blog about on there, and find all kinds of updates and news about me. And there's going to be a lot of that coming out very soon as we push for this new record to come out. So I'm very excited, and I'm glad we're finally getting this started. And hopefully this will open the door for me to get more blogs out to you and kind of do this on a more consistent basis. So with that said and done, let us begin.
So where's Elliot Yamin been?
Where's Elliot Yamin been? Where hasn't he been? I've been let's see, I've been in LA mostly. I've been in LA since I came home from since my mom passed. I've been in LA primarily, just working on my record. I've had a few like one-off shows here and there, which I've seen a lot of you E-Trainers at. But for the most part, I've just been kind of buried in the studio. Just I took some time off, kind of away from music, to just kind of chill, collect my thoughts, and maybe prioritize some things, And now I'm back. It's stronger than ever, I think. I'm almost done with my record, and getting really stoked. I think we're going to try and put it out this year. So here I am in my lovely hometown, Richmond, Virginia. But as soon as I get back, it's back to work, and then I'm getting ready to leave the country for a couple weeks. So
Back to Japan, right?
Back to Japan, man.
Can you tell us a little bit about your first trip to Japan?
Man, my first trip, I was just really thrilled to be there. It's a country I've always wanted to visit, and I love Japanese food. So I was stoked to eat try some of the freshest fish in the world, which is in Japan, and meet the fans. The first time I went over there was like, what was it? Just at the end of May, just when the record came out, which was May 21st, and just went over there to do a bunch of promo and help set the record up, and it was great. I got to visit some really cool shrines there and do some good shopping and good eating, of course, and then I went back to do more of the same, and then I'm leaving on Thursday, which is the 22nd of August, for a 2-week trip to Japan. Taking my whole band over there. We're gonna play 10 shows over there. So, Japan, I'm coming for you, man. All right. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Question number 1 comes from Debbie, aka Yellin' for Yamin. That would be her avatar right there. And Debbie writes, if you could spend 2 hours alone with one person, living or no longer with us, who would it be and why? I would probably have to say, big surprise, but I would probably have to say Mr. Donny Hathaway. If he was still alive today, I would love to just sit down with him at the piano. First, I just love to sit down with him and pick his brain about music and arranging tunes. And I would love to just sit down and just write a song with him. That'd be an amazing experience. He had just such a knack for arranging a song and as I get deeper and deeper into the recording game and recording my own music now, that's one of my favorite aspects of recording is getting to arrange the song and work with the producers. And I'm just such a huge fan of his writing and his voice. That would be a dream come true for me to just to hang out with Donny Hathaway and have like an actual recording session with him. That'd be amazing. So, all right, question number 2 comes from Karen, aka Wee Moogie. And Karen wants to know, how is my health these days? And are there any new challenges with diabetes, or are things going well for me? We love you and we want you to be as healthy as you can be. Love, Karen. Well, first of all, thank you very much for your concern, Karen. And my health has been relatively good, actually. My last A1C, which is, for those of you that aren't familiar with diabetic terms out there, we diabetics, we get our A1C test basically tests our 90-day average, what our blood sugar levels are, our blood glucose levels are. And the last time I went, which was a couple months ago, my A1C was 7.1, which is good for me. And yeah, I've been taking good care of myself, probably eating a little too much lately. But yeah, I'm taking good care of myself and looking to maybe possibly get a new pump here sometime in the near future. I've had the same pump for quite a while now, so it might be time for a change. But other than that, my health I'm in good shape. I got a clean bill of health. I'm healthy. I'm alive and kicking. And thanks for your concern. All right, question number 3 comes from Miss Cuddly Kitty. And Miss Cuddly Kitty wants to know, or says, my boyfriend is from Africa, and I was wondering what you thought of your experience there and of the newborn that was named in your honor. Baby Elliot, wow, what an amazing experience that was for me. First of all, it was a total surprise. I had no idea that they were gonna, name a newborn child in my honor. And my experience over in Africa was probably one of the most intense 3 days of my life. And I'm sure Fantasia can attest to this. Just the things that we saw and the way we got around the country and the things that we got to do to help out, was the most important thing. Of course, our main reason for going. We got to hang up malaria bed nets for kids in orphanages. We got to visit sick kids in the hospital and really touch a lot of lives over there. So it's such a meaningful, important trip that I would love to do on an annual basis. Every year make a trip to Angola, or maybe get to visit other parts that need our help. Across the continent. Somewhere else in Africa, somewhere different. Another thing too that I can let you guys know is that Fantasia and I had a great idea to. When we were there, we got to visit an orphanage that was put together by a nun who broke away from the church, and her name is Sister Dominguez. And Sister Dominguez is a saint. She took all these kids in that either lost parents from the war or were neglected by their parents, and she built a school. But the school is only half built because they didn't have the money to finish the second floor and the second tier of the school. And when Fantasia and I were there, we asked, we said, well, Sister Dominguez, how much do you need to finish the orphanage off, finish the school? And she gave us the number like anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000. And we both looked at each other and we were like, we could make that in one night if we just put a concert together. And just to let everybody know that we are in the process of trying to put that concert together, and I'm not sure where it's going to be. I'm not sure how it's going to go down, but we've been talking to the right people to kind of help us put this show on, and maybe add some other artists to the bill, and give all the proceeds to to this orphanage that we got a chance to visit ourselves when we were over there. So it's just a matter of ironing out the details, and I don't know when that's going to happen, but hopefully it's going to happen sooner than later. Sometime this year, hopefully. And when that information becomes available, we'll let everybody know. But it's something that I kind of made a promise to myself that I would do to help out, and we're definitely gonna get it done. I just don't know when. So stay tuned for that.
Right.
The next question comes from Vicky, aka Riding the E Train, and Vicky writes, "Was there one defining moment for you personally when you realized you were going to have a very successful career in the entertainment industry?" Yeah, I think I'd have to say, I don't know if y'all have heard me say this before, but I'd have to say it was the moment that I sang Moody's Mood for Love on American Idol. I don't know, what week was that, Brandon? Maybe
I think it was the second week,
it's like
wasn't
the
it?
second or third week, right?
Yeah.
It was one of the early weeks in the top 24 when I got a chance to sing Moody's Mood for Love. It's a song that I was used to singing for a long time, but everybody was just so blown away by it, and I think it really kind of helped put me on the map, and it really made people start, I guess, take me seriously in a way. Just because people say that that's kind of a hard song to sing, and for me it just came naturally. But I really felt like I had arrived after I performed that song. I just remember standing on that stage and pumping my fist in the air because I was just so excited as to how I performed it, and it just got me really hyped because I felt like I had really arrived and that I really belonged on that stage and belonged in that competition. And from that point on, I really had, it really gave me a lot more confidence than I had prior to that point, So that was one of the, I don't know if that was the defining moment, but it was definitely one of the first moments when I felt like, I really do belong here. This was meant for me to do, and this is my calling, And those are very special moments when you have those epiphanies, when you think, okay, this is I'm doing what I set out to do. You just get this sense of accomplishment, and all this pride takes over, and that's just kind of how I felt after I performed Moody's Mood. So there's your answer, Vicky. I'd say Moody's Mood for Love. All right, this question here comes from Bernie Fan. Bernie Fan didn't include their real name, so I just have Bernie Fan. But Bernie Fan writes, "Will you use your band from the tours for your next album, or will you use studio musicians?" And what I'm doing is actually a little bit of both. I'm using some of the guys in my band for some tracks, and then I'm using other studio producers, for other tracks. So I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit. We've got some kind of what I call my homegrown stuff with my own guys, my band, my own musicians that I use on my tours, and my good friends. And then I have other producers that I've linked up with over these past few months that I've really seemed to click with. And I don't want to drop any names yet as far as who I've worked with and who I'm working with, just because I don't know what's going to make the record from this point forward. And as of right now, I'm about 7 songs deep into the record, so I want to put maybe 12 or 14 tracks on the record. So a little bit of both. We're trying to mix and match here. Okay, this next question comes from Rick, and Rick writes, "Elliot, you seem to like those hats. Which one is your favorite?" Well, I seem to have like a flavor of the week kind of hat. I wear so many hats all the time, and I try to switch it up as often as possible. I just so happen to have one of my new favorite hats with me today, which happens to be this one here. Put it on. And I got to keep this from a photo shoot. So I like to rock this hat every now and again. Sometimes I flip the bill up like that. Sometimes I'll keep it grown folk like this. But I'd say this is one of my favorite hats, as for right now. All right, and I also I don't want to go any further without thanking all of you guys for all of your heartfelt wishes and condolences. For the passing of my mom, and I've just got so many people in my corner and so many supportive folks out there. I just want to thank you guys for sending me all the nice wishes and nice messages on MySpace and on E-Train Station and just being in my corner. Thank you guys so much. I feel so lucky to have you guys as fans and as supporters. So, with that being said, All right, this next question comes from Teratova, Miss Teratova. She writes, as a member of your fan base, I have always wanted to ask you this. Can we be too rabid in requesting your music on radio or TV shows? I have a burning desire to hear you on the radio and TV. Well, actually, to answer your question, fans can never be too rabid, and they can never be too fanny, if that's even a word. Fanny? No, I feel very blessed and lucky to have the fans that I have, and it's amazing. Like, I just did a show in New York, and then I just did a show here in Richmond, Virginia, and I see the same fans there that I see here in Richmond. So, I mean, you guys travel all over the place. You're so supportive. You call in. You give the radio stations hell. You give the TV stations hell, and that is the kind of support that a new artist needs to break and to be heard. And I can be any luckier with the fan base that I have. So just to wrap that up, I just want to say that I feel very lucky to have the fans that I do, and the more rabid, the better. So keep up the great work. We're going to need you guys to be just as rabid, if not more rabid, this go around. And just thank you for being there for me, man. I feel very blessed to have you guys in my corner. So keep it up, and I'll keep my end up. And together we'll do this all over again here, coming up really soon. All right, so this next question comes from Brenda, a.k.a. Lovey, or Louvet. I don't know. L-U-V-E-Y. Louvet if you're French, I guess. But Lovey if you're American, Brenda, which I'm sure you are. Or you may be, I don't know. Who knows? All right, and Brenda writes, my question is, do you plan on doing a show at the National in Richmond anytime in the near future? And my answer is absolutely so. As a matter of fact, the National, for those of y'all that don't know this, is one of our newer music venues here in Richmond. And I'm actually going down there tonight with some friends, my buddy Rob, Brandon, and we're going to see my good friends, the Duchess of York. So they're playing tonight at the National, and it'll be my first time going there, so I'm really looking forward to checking out the new venue and meeting with some of the guys there that own it, and some of the managers there, and I will absolutely do a show at the National. When, I just don't know, but it will be in the near future. So as soon as I book a show there, I'll let you guys know, and I hope to see you, Brenda, at the show. All right, this question comes from Durden, and Durden writes, Elliot, will your team market you any differently for your second album, especially now that your first album has achieved a good level of success? Subsequently, how does your being an independent artist affect the international distribution of your record? Does being an independent artist in any way hurt your sales abroad? Well, let's see, where do I start? No, we're not trying to market myself any differently than we did the first time out. I think the difference is I'm going to have this next record is going to be a little more commercial friendly. There's going to be a lot more songs to choose from as far as what songs are going to be singles, and I have a lot of radio friendly type songs on this record. But as far as the distribution is concerned, the thing about being, I guess, an American Idol reject, like myself. The thing about being an American Idol cast-off is that many countries around the world have their own version of American Idol, and which are just as popular in their respective countries as American Idol is here in our country. So that being said, it is a little tougher to get international distribution, especially for an independent artist like myself, who doesn't have the major label backing. But I have a good feeling that this time around, because of the huge success of my first single, I think that's opened a lot of doors internationally for me. I'm already selling records in Asia, and I'm looking to try to expand. Hopefully this record will be able to get it out in the UK and just other parts and other corners of the world. So I think we're slowly, outside the U.S. is slowly starting to come around and gain interest in my music, and so regardless, I'm in a really good spot right now for being able to share my music abroad. And since my first record came out, I've had amazing opportunities to travel outside the country and spread my music all over. So, but yeah, to be honest with you, it is a little tougher. That's something we're definitely trying to beef up this next record. You know, definitely trying to get it out in more parts of the world than last time. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, this next question here comes from Faye, aka eFan2, and Faye writes, "I was at the CD signing in Richmond last year for your debut album. Now, I didn't mind standing in line for hours in that long line, really. But my question is, do you plan on having another one? Do you plan on having another one here for the new CD? Maybe if I can read, that would help this whole blog. But my question is, do you plan on having another signing here for the new CD? And my answer is absolutely. I don't know where it's going to be, but I know the record will be out this year, sometime between the fall and the winter. So, you know, as we get closer to the release date, I'll definitely do a signing here somewhere, whether it be at Circuit City or Best Buy or somewhere here in town, definitely. And when that time comes, we'll definitely let you know. So, thanks for writing, Faye. All right, so this next question comes from Russ, aka E-Dog, and Russ writes, "You said that creating your first CD was an organic process. How is it creating the new one been? How is creating the new one been different? And how are you finding songs that you are not part of writing?" And basically, it's kind of been the same. Although, as I said earlier, I haven't done as much homegrown stuff with my own guys as I have worked with like outside producers. And that's the only difference this time around. When I get back from Japan is when I'm going to go in the studio with my guys and kind of do the more organic sounding stuff. But it's really easy to find songs as far as those are concerned, songs that I haven't been a part of writing. I get demo songs from people every day, pretty much it seems like, which is a good problem to have. You know, I've seen some amazing songs, and then there have been some songs that I've gotten that I passed on that I'll hear end up on like these huge contemporary artist records. So that's kind of a trip to hear, you know, to get the demos of those songs and then hear like Usher do a song that I passed on or Brandy do a song that I passed on. So it's cool to be in that same circle and definitely get those kinds of songs and those caliber of songs. And it hasn't been hard finding them, that's for sure. But I definitely want to try to get a lot of my own writing done too, you know, co-writes on this record too. So that's what I'm going to focus on when I get back from Japan. So, all right, and this last question here comes from Becky Becky82, and Becky82 writes, "Elliot, you are loved by your fans for so many reasons, but one of my favorite things about you is how humble and down to earth you are. Amidst all the fame that has come from American Idol and your album, how do you stay so down to earth and not let the fame get to your head?" Well, how do I not let the fame get to my head? I mean, fame. I mean, my head? What? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like the coolest thing here in Richmond, Virginia since sliced bread. So, I mean, I don't know where you get that idea from. No, I guess it's easy to stay humble and when you have just real people around you, you know. I'm just having a good time with all this, man, and you know, as cliche and corny as it may sound, I really am like, I get to live out my dream, and this is what I've always dreamed of doing. And I know where I come from, you know, I know that this could be taken away from me at any given second. And you know, if it did, it would suck, but I would live and I'd manage and I'd be okay. Because I know where I come from, and I know, and I kind of have a good idea as to where I'm going and where I want to get to. So, you know, just having good people around me, good friends and good family, and people who really support me and love me for who I am. And they definitely help me keep me sane and help me stay so appreciative of how lucky I am. You know, and I just know that how hard of an industry it is to A, just to tap into, and B, to stay into, and to stay successful in. And I've been very lucky up to this point, you know, just I've been able to work hard, and it's been very rewarding, and you know, I try not to take any of this for granted, you know, and I'm guilty of doing that sometimes. I think we all are, but you know, I try to take it for granted and just enjoy every second of it, and you know, here I am. I haven't changed, you know. If anything, I've changed for the better since all this happened. I've become a little more responsible. Definitely have become more driven, and I've been able to set more goals for myself and achieve more things that I've set out to do. But other than that, I'm still the same old stinker I always was, and always will be. So thanks for being a part of that. All right, so I just want to close by saying once again, thanks for all your support, and you know, thanks for being there for me. And again, I've gotten so many kind letters and messages of condolences for the passing of my mom, and I just want to thank everybody for being there for me. And we actually got hundreds of questions for this blog, this video blog, to choose from. And don't worry, we kept every last question. These are just 12 that we selected, kind of handpicked for the first go round. And we're going to keep all those questions on file. And I'm going to try to kind of do this on a consistent basis from this point forward. So leading up to the record and the record release. So look out for the next video. And I think we're probably going to put some bloopers on there, because there was definitely a whole lot of screw ups and muffs on my part. But I just want to thank you all for writing in, and thanks for all your support. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. I got stuck. With that being said, Brandon's making I don't know why. I was realized you were going to have a very sexual career. All right.
Hold on, pause.
And pause. All right. Next question comes from Vicky, aka Riding the E-Train. And Vicky wants to know, was there one defining moment for you personally when you realized you were going to have a very I need some direction. Where do I go? Well, to answer your question, Teratova, and to answer okay, let me start over. Pause for rating. Pause. Hold for rating.
Okay.
So, you want me to reread the question?
Good.
Should I read the question again? No?
Alright.
Here in Richmond, anytime in the near future. And my question is absolutely so. As a matter of fact, tonight, some friends and I, and my question is, alright, this is a bit of a long one, so here it is. This is from Durden. And Durden writes, Elliot, will your team market you any differently for your second album, especially now that you're Well, I lost my place. Yeah.